Start by creating a new composition. Next, import your main image. I've taken a long screenshot of my YouTube page for this tutorial. If you're unsure how to capture long screenshots, I've included a link to a tutorial in the description below. Align it horizontally and vertically. Once aligned, press P to reveal the position settings and click on the stopwatch icon next to position to set your first keyframe. Move the playhead a few frames forward and adjust the position so the image moves downward. Now, add another keyframe a few frames later and move the image further downward. This will create the scrolling effect. Preview your animation to see how it looks. Select all the position keyframes, then press F9 to apply Easy Ease. Open the graph editor and adjust the graph for a smoother transition. After making these adjustments, preview your animation again. Next, make the layer 3D by enabling the 3D layer option. At the third position keyframe, click on the stopwatch next to X rotation to set a keyframe. Move the playhead a few frames forward and change the X rotation to tilt the image slightly. Once you've made these adjustments, pre-compose the layer to keep everything organized. Preview the animation again to ensure it's working perfectly. Now, let's add a camera layer. Go to Layer, New, Camera and create a new camera. With the camera layer selected, press P to reveal its position properties. At the point where the X rotation keyframe was set for the layer, click the stopwatch to add a position keyframe for the camera. Move the playhead forward a few frames, and adjust the Y and Z position settings to add depth and movement to the animation. Preview the animation to see how it looks. Now, let's add some background styling. Go to Layer, New, Solid and create a new solid layer. Move this solid layer below all the other layers. Next, open Effects and Presets and search for 4-color gradient. Apply the gradient effect to the solid layer. Choose colors for each of the 4 points, customizing them to your preference. Once you're happy with the gradient colors, preview the animation again to check the overall look. Now it's time to create a new composition. Open the new composition and import the Instagram logo along with the front profile view of Instagram. Drag and drop both layers onto the timeline. Press S to scale them down to a suitable size. To create a flipping animation, we'll use a null object. Go to Layer, New, Null Object to create one. Parent both the Instagram logo and the profile view to the null object by dragging the pick whip from each layer to the null object. Next, make all the layers 3D by enabling the 3D layer option. Select the null object, open the rotation properties. Click on the stopwatch next to Y rotation to set a keyframe. Move the playhead forward a few frames and set the Y rotation value to 180. Now, select the front profile view layer and press P for position. Adjust its Z position value to 1 so the profile layer moves in front. This adjustment creates a clean flip effect. You might notice the front profile view appears mirrored after the flip. Right-click on the layer, go to Transform, and choose Flip Horizontal. We don't want the flip animation to happen immediately, so let's adjust the timing. Select both Y rotation keyframes from the null object and move them to the 4-second mark on the timeline. Now, return to Composition 1. Drag Composition 2 into the Composition 1 timeline. Position the Composition 2 layer to start at the point where you want the flip animation to begin. This allows for precise timing within the overall sequence. To ensure the layers work seamlessly in 3D space, enable the 3D layer option for Composition 2. It may become invisible. This happens because the layer has moved behind the scene. You'll notice that Composition 2 is placed below. Adjust the X, Y, and Z positions to move it into view. Once you've repositioned it, here, you'll see the layer in its updated position. Now, adjust the Z rotation to place the layer exactly how you want it. Preview the animation to ensure everything is aligned. If necessary, make further adjustments. I want to move this layer upward a bit more, so I'll adjust both the Z position and Y position for a better fit in the animation. To center Composition 2 perfectly, enable the Action Safeguides. This will help ensure the composition is aligned correctly in the middle of the frame. Next, let's refine the camera layer for better visual placement. These adjustments are purely for aesthetics and how you want the elements positioned in your animation. Now, let's duplicate Composition 2 for the Facebook and Behance logos. Go to the Project panel, select Composition 2, and press Ctrl+D to duplicate it. Double-click the new composition to open it. Now, replace the Instagram logo and profile with the Facebook version. Import the two Facebook assets. To replace them, select the Instagram logo in the timeline, go to the project panel, select the Facebook logo, hold Alt on your keyboard, and drag the Facebook logo from the project panel onto the Instagram logo in the timeline. This will replace the Instagram logo with the Facebook logo. Do the same for the Instagram profile by selecting it in the timeline, and replace it with the Facebook profile. Now, let's create another duplicate. Select composition 3 and duplicate it by pressing Ctrl+D, double-click the new composition to open it. Import the Behance logo in Behance profile. To replace the Facebook elements with Behance, follow the same method, hold Alt and drag the Behance logo from the project panel onto the Facebook logo in the timeline. Do the same for the profile images, replacing them with the Behance version. Once that's done, return to Composition 1. Drag Composition 3 and Composition 4 into the timeline. Make both layers 3D by enabling the 3D layer switch. Press P to open the position properties for these layers. To bring them to the front, copy the Z value from Composition 2 and paste it into Composition 4 and Composition 3's Z position. Similarly, copy the Y value of Composition 2 and paste it into Composition 3 and Composition 4's Y position. Now, position one layer on the right and the other on the left. For balance, let's place the Facebook composition in the center. Move the Instagram compositions to the left side. Offset the layers Composition 3 and Composition 4 so they start at different points in the timeline. I suggest the central composition, Facebook, should flip first, followed by the ones on the right and left. Preview the animation to check the timing. Finally, go to Effects and Presets and search for Drop Shadow. Apply the drop shadow effect to all three layers, and adjust the distance and softness to your liking. Once you're happy with the adjustments, preview the animation again. If everything looks good, you're done. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, please give it a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to Ace Designs for more content like this.